Hey, everybody, welcome back to the pilot episode, and welcome back to this time our review on Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? This one is a Coen Brothers take on Homer's Odyssey. It was released on December 22nd of 2000, so we're coming up on the 25th anniversary of this one very fast. Believe it or not, this one won no Oscars. It was nominated for three of them, won none. The soundtrack did win a Grammy for the album of the year, though, over YouTube, believe it or not. So, yeah, any thoughts on those facts from you guys?
I'll be honest, you just put some new shit on me that I wasn't aware of. Drew, were you familiar with all those stats?
Kind of wild that this one didn't win anything.
Yeah, that's very surprising to me.
I did not know that was the case, but it is all it's a great movie. So
You said album though.
that makes a lot of sense.
There's one song on here that is an absolute. I still listen to it grilling out like Will this weekend. It is a banger.
Yes, and actually had a fact about "Man of Constant Sorrow," which I'm sure is the song you were talking about.
Absolutely.
George Clooney actually does not sing in that song. I don't know if you knew that.
I kind of figured that.
I wanted to credit the guy that does sing in that song. The man's name is Dan Tyminski. He is a session musician who was originally slated to just play the instrumental part of the song, but George Clooney gave up on trying to sing it because he realized he could not sing. So he just allowed Dan to lay down the track completely.
That's one of those where you'll applaud him for taking a step back because, my God, that fella absolutely nailed it.
Hey, sometimes you got to let a role player have a 30-point game to win the championship. So I get it.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely get that. So we're going to do something a little bit different on this one. As you can tell, I normally don't lead these, but I am this week. So here we are.
That's where we're headed, Perk. That's where we're headed.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, this is where we're headed with this.
This time we're going to do something a little different. We're going to read some reviews from fans off of Rotten Tomatoes and kind of just get an idea of what the general public thinks about the movie as a whole. I've pulled two good reviews and I've pulled two bad reviews. So I'm going to read a review. Tell me if you have anything about it that you want to say, and then we'll go to the next.
If they don't like it, their opinions are irrelevant.
I will go ahead and agree with Drew. But we'll hear them out. Look, we're going to hear them out with an open mind, and then we'll cuss them out. So let's get to it.
I will say it was harder. It was super hard for me to find bad reviews on this movie.
It should be. It should be.
All right. So starting out, I'm going to do the bad ones first, get the bad taste out of our mouth. So first up, we got a 1-star review. I found this practically unwatchable, boring, and disjointed.
Boring. This movie is, from the word go, is hard, honestly, hard to keep up with as far as how much is going on with all the characters and the full storyline. There's stories inside of stories. There's tell-offs, like we meet a cousin in the beginning that turns us in. We end up at the creek with some women that turn our buddy into a frog. We
you was a toad.
Yeah, so, literally, that is the worst take I have ever heard. I doubt they could tell you 5 names of a character in this movie, and there's 20 people in this movie that matter, that are legitimate players in this movie.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those where the movie it goes a lot of different directions. I will say that, like, they're doing one thing and it bounces to another, kind of bounces all over the place. And I can see what they're saying to an extent, but they're wrong. I personally love the movie. Like you said, though, there's just so many people, Neil, that you have to pay attention to know all the people in this because they're all so crucial to the story. They all wrap in together in the end. It's really good to me. But
Yeah, like, I could give examples to prove my
Mhm.
point. Like, I mean, Tommy, for example, is like a big time character in the very beginning. We lose him for 30 minutes. Then he's a big time character again. And like we gotta save his life, and now he's back playing in the band. Like, it's just a really bad take. Give me the next one because it's probably just as bad.
I agree. The next one is 1.5 stars. It says the movie took weird directions with the characters and plot, and felt like it was desperately clinging to being an adaptation of the Odyssey. You never get a grasp on what world the characters live in.
I feel like you do though,
That's the farthest thing from the truth I've ever heard.
because like
Yeah,
Everett, George Clooney,
Mm.
you learn so much about him. Like you do get to know about Everett. Now Pete and Delmer maybe not as much, but that's because Everett is like the main guy.
But also, Drew, with Pete
Yeah.
and Delmer, like we still know what their end goal is, and we know what they're chasing. From the word go, we know they're chasing the treasure they seek.
Yeah.
So even when they get on the rail cart, and they hear about, kind of from the blind man how this is going to go, or get the idea of the cowl on a roof and all this shit.
They'll get the treasure. It may not be the one they seek, but they will find the treasure.
So this movie, in the first 5 minutes, literally lays out a goal and a end finish for everybody, and then builds all these characters and storylines, and still brings it home. They're lazy, they didn't pay attention, or they're low IQ.
Kurt, you got anything to add to that?
It's tough, but it's true.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just being honest.
yeah, it's like these reviews came from people like you were saying, Neil. They're I don't want to say lazy being the term, but like they were half-assing it. They were kind of paying attention. They were probably on their phone. It lost them early on, so they really didn't care to pay that much attention and actually see how good of a movie it is.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's just no way you can have those complaints and tell me you actually paid attention to the movie. Because, like I said, we can make points. Like, we can go through this thing and go scene by scene.
Mhm.
I'll give you a full breakdown. You're wrong.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So let's get into the educated folk. We got one review, 4 stars. Never before has Greek mythology been retouched in a modern and at the same time funny way with its exotic characters. The plot has the humor that has always characterized the Coen brothers. To see George Clooney taking his first steps to maturity was great.
Yeah, I agree with this one. And, like, they could have even went way deeper. Like, I mean, we have roles by, like, John Goodman in this one, as Big Dan.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's one scene with Big Dan alone and John Goodman's an A-list actor in his prime. There's a couple scenes with him, man, that are just absolutely gold. Just to give, a little bit of an example. They nailed it. Still kind of underrated, but like they're right. I mean, they are right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to add to that one. I mean, they're correct in my opinion.
This movie was ahead of its time, though. This was in the year 2000. You make this in 2026 with this level of actors, dude. You're talking about you can't afford it.
I don't know.
No.
I don't know if it would still hold true today as much as it did back then.
Dude, the only thing, it's almost a 2-hour movie, and the level of actors in this at this point in their career, in the year 2026, when writers and actors go on strikes if they don't get their money, I don't know that you could build a cast at this level, this deep, and do it. I don't. This movie was ahead of its time. They did it at the perfect time, and I don't think it's even close to being done again.
And believe it or not, this one, I don't know how you guys would rank it in comparison to Good Will Hunting, but I prefer this movie over Good Will Hunting personally.
1000%.
It is a little bit less of a success in the box office than Good Will Hunting. It it was on a $26 million budget. They earned $72 million.
That's a good turnaround.
Yeah, the reason being, I feel like
It is, but it's nowhere near as huge as Good Will Hunting.
Yeah,
No.
I think the reason for that difference is probably because Good Will Hunting is set in like a today's time type thing, whereas Oh Brother Where Art Thou was set way back when, type deal. That may play a role because there are people out there that
Yeah.
don't like to watch older movies.
A lot of
movies
people
that
see
they-
this as like a hillbilly movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they've never actually watched it all the way through or paid attention. I think in my personal life, I'll use my father for example. This movie has a lot of value to me just because it's something I watched with my dad at a very young age, and he loves this movie. I think there's more people that would tell you this is in their top 3 than Good Will Hunting, just to give an example.
Yeah, probably so. My wife
Probably.
would disagree, but I mean, I would say.
So I've got one more review to go over.
Okay.
What you got?
So this one is at 4.5 stars. This person said, I was forced to watch this as homework and not expecting to enjoy it, but I ended up rewatching it twice that week. It flawlessly captured the time period, weaving together fantastic music, brilliant comedy, and captivating storyline. The film's twists, turns, and unexpected events kept me on the edge of my seat, ensuring it was always an entertaining journey. A true cinematic gem that delivers both nostalgia and surprises in a perfect harmony of humor and storytelling.
That's very accurate. Kudos to their teacher, by the way. A hell of an assignment. Neil, you want to take off? Go ahead.
That's one of the better reviews I've ever heard. Because to me, that's what we got to talk about here. Like, are there great actors and actresses in this movie? Yes, I think nobody would argue that. It's the storyline. Like, look where we started. We're breaking out of prison. We end up at a cousin's house that turns us in. We end up, one of our buddies get turned into a toad. We end up breaking up a KKK meeting to steal one of our buddies back. We end up with the flood about to be hung, and we bring it all full circle back to the beginning goal when they broke out of prison.
Mm-hmm.
The storyline in this, and we did end up with a cow on the roof. So for anybody that hadn't seen this, I'm trying not to like spoil the movie because I do hope from this podcast somebody watches this movie that's never seen it. I really do, because this is a movie that means so much more to me than just a movie. With that being said, it is a great movie because of the storyline. Like, you could tell me there's 7 or 8 different people that are your favorite character in this movie, and it makes sense because they had 30 minutes of movie time.
Yeah.
Because there's so many big time players involved in the movie. And they didn't drag it out. It's not like it's a 3-hour movie. This could have been a 3-hour movie, let's be honest. With all the characters and everything, pretty easily, without a very good writer, it could have been a 3-hour movie.
Because it felt like there were times they did kind of speed through some scenes that you could have seen last 10, 15 minutes.
That leads me to my biggest complaint. I would be okay with this being a 2.5 and 40-minute movie, because there's characters that I love that we kind of sped through, and we just got to the next thing and the challenge of whatever was going on in the movie. Again, I'm speaking, very broad, trying not to tell the whole movie, but at the same time, man, the storyline on this is second to none. Like, it is great, but the one-liners and the comedy alone, and the good music in this kind of storyline, this is an elite movie. Like, in my opinion, this is the best movie we've ever reviewed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I'm just trying to look right here and see what kind of rating we've got as far as what this this movie does so it's got a 7.7 IMDb. It's okay.
That's too low.
It is.
Criminally low.
United States is an 8.0. UK is a 7.5.
Canada must have hated it.
Canada's a 7.7. Germany and Sweden knock it down a touch with a 7.4 and a 7.5.
Wasn't made for them anyway.
Yeah, fuck them. That's why we got rid of Hitler.
The overwhelming majority of votes come at an 8 out of 10, which I think that's very true. To me, it's very accurate. I feel like
8 out of 10. I mean, that's fair. Obviously, you score an 80. You're scoring a B. This movie's better than a B, though, in my opinion.
yeah,
Mhm.
it's a great movie.
Yeah, that puts it below where Good Will Hunting was last week.
Yeah. We'll get our chance to rate it. We'll go through it. Like I said, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But
Well, Neil, you spoke on a little bit earlier. What
Mhm.
was some of your favorite things about the movie or favorite scenes?
to me, one thing I love about this movie, again, this one's got a lot of feel to me. Like this is one of the 7 or 8 years old, like a movie that a movie you get to watch with your dad. Where like this movie's not R rated or unrated or anything, but y'all remember that first movie with your dad with a little bit of cussing or a little bit of scenes that kind of push the envelope.
Damn, we're in a tight spot.
Yeah. So, and that's what I think. Like, dude, I say that in court. Haley hates me saying that. Like, somebody gets a good block down again, like, damn, we're in a tight spot. Damn, we're in a tight spot. You know, it happens. That quote alone relates to life in so many different ways, like every day. But there's so many one-liners in this movie. This is a movie you can go back and watch, and you can pick up a new little one-liner or little scene that makes you laugh or relates to your life or somebody you even know every time you watch it. But again, with even out that, this was like the first movie I remember, like me and my dad both sitting in a recliner, him saying, "Son, this is my favorite movie. You may be a little young, but you're going to love this." And so it has a lot of feel to me for that. My dad will still tell you to this day in his 70s, this is one of the best movies ever made. So I love it for that alone, but also the story, the full story of this movie and how they bring it home. And, you know, him chasing a woman and shit, she counted to 3.
And
Yeah, like, dude, from where they started to where they end and how this thing all comes together, you can't not like this movie. You can't.
I agree. My favorite scenes per se from the movie are, I know it's kind of cliche, but they really are, like the scene where they're singing in the can for the radio station and they become the Soggy Bottom Boys. And there's even a little bit more to it where he's telling them, there's 6 of us, but only 4 of us can write. I thought that was a pretty good scene. And then that becomes one of the bigger storylines to the movie that you don't even realize at that moment. And then it brings it back home with another one of my favorite scenes where they're in the little, is it a town hall type deal or event?
It's a civic center or something.
Yeah, and then they get back up on stage.
Mhm.
They introduce themselves as the Soggy Bottom Boys, and props to the mayor elect or no, the governor. I'm sorry,
Pappy.
Daniel, for getting up on the stage and pretty much like, I'm gonna pardon these boys, and then he says all this stuff, and he turns around and says, "Ain't that right, boys?" And they're like, "Yep, that's right. We're
Yeah, that sounds good, brother. See, and that's another thing, Pert. Like, we can talk about the main
Mhm.
characters. Pappy's character is amazing. Like,
Mhm.
even with them sitting at like dinner, you know, at lunch and like cussing them out in passing and stuff. And like, you know, I think refined is what came up or progressive, whatever the word they used. And he's like, you know, y'all are a bunch of damn idiots and, you know, all that. Like his character alone, they could have
Mhm.
spent another 30 minutes in. And that don't even get us into the bank robberies or how they
Yeah.
got picked up, or I don't get it, Big Dan. And we're out here in the fucking pasture getting hit with a log, and old buddy swung it well. That was a young John Goodman swinging that log. And there's so many things like that we can pinpoint that are just laugh your ass off, but you also have to pay attention because that part of the story leads us to the next part to get us home.
Yeah. One of my favorite characters, very
Yeah.
under the radar, is Junior O'Daniel. It's Pappy's boy, the bigger guy, the son. He's an idiot, but it's funny.
Oh, wait. And that's what I'm saying. So, like, we have the goofy parts, we have the serious parts. Obviously, Everett's always like, he's just worried about some hair gel and his hair being, and dude, just like there's simple stuff in this movie. Like with every time he wakes up when the shit has hit the fan, how's my hair? Oh God, how's my hair? Like there's little stuff like that in this movie that like, if you catch it and pay attention, it's so good, man. It is so good.
Bert, what was some of your favorite parts?
Yeah. My favorite smaller character is the radio station owner. That guy is actually played by the guy that voices Bill Dauterive in King of the Hill, and he's a fantastic actor.
He does a blind man running a radio place,
and then
well.
Yeah, and then you hit my favorite little like recurring thing in the movie. That damn, we're in a tight spot, because like he'll say it 3 or 4 times within 10 seconds, and you're just like, okay, how many times is he going to repeat himself? And then probably my favorite little scene was when he was trying to buy the hair pomade from the guy and the car part from the guy, and both things are 2 weeks away. He goes, ain't this place a geographical oddity? 2 weeks from everything.
Yeah.
It's not, then I'll take some hairnets.
Yeah. It's little stuff like that really builds onto it. I also, for me, and I think Drew can relate to this, if I get fired up, Drew, like if we're really in a tight spot, I get real repetitive. Like I'll get more and more aggressive about whatever I'm saying. And it's a build up.
And
but
you
like
listen to you do it too, because he builds up every time.
Yes.
It's louder, more aggressive.
Me and Haley literally talked about it. And it's like, when he says, well, damn, he wakes up, how's my hair? Then he's like, damn, we're in a tight spot. Then he walks out there and looks, and he's like, damn, we're in a tight spot. I feel like I said, Drew can relate to this, because if you're with me in certain situations, at first I'm like, oh, damn, this could go bad. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, motherfucker, this is terrible. And I just, go on and on about the same thing, even when I try not to. So like his character is amazing to me because I can relate to that, because I will get hung up on something and I will beat it to death. Good or bad. So I really get that. Damn, we're in a tight spot.
What was y'all's biggest downfalls to the movie?
I'll be honest with you, boys. I will be very rare in this. The movie was too short. We could have got a lot more out of this that was very watchable. A lot more.
There were so many scenes that were crucial scenes, but I felt like they left a lot to be desired. Like the guy who's, I would imagine he's some sort of law enforcement officer, but they make him out to be like he's the devil. We didn't really see enough of him to really build up that persona of him being that bad of a guy. Like we've seen him in a couple scenes that were 2 or 3 minutes long apiece. Like you said, there were just so many things they could have expanded on, and it would have taken a little bit more time, but I felt like it would have been worth it.
This movie's so engrossing, and it's constantly rolling with so many good characters and one-liners and comedy and action and trying to survive. Survival is like one of the most addictive things to watch. They could have really branched out on his character. And that's just one individual character we're talking about.
Yeah, I personally would have a very hard time finding something that I legitimately did not like about the movie. Like
I
nothing
agree.
automatically pops out at me. But we've talked about how I'm different than y'all are, in that maybe the fact that some of these scenes are shortened helps me a little bit versus the way y'all feel about it. So that's not an issue for me. But I cannot think of anything off the top of my head that I didn't enjoy.
Y'all ready to rate it?
I'm ready if y'all are, because I'll go ahead and tell you this is going to be the highest rated one for me.
I mean, I know you take some notes. Is there anything we
I,
didn't?
I yeah, I actually had one more note that I wanted to bring up because I thought it was interesting. Even with as big of an actor as George Clooney is and already was in 2000, Tim Blake Nelson, the guy that played Delmar, is the guy
Yes,
that made the most money off of this movie because he sang on the album and
Uh,
he made a boatload of money off of the album.
double dip.
I did not know that. He legit sang on it.
Hmm.
He's in a good bit of movies and shows though.
Hmm.
He is.
He did.
Like he,
Yeah, his little solo part in the town hall, that is his song from the album.
Trying to see what my favorite thing he's in is. Because like you said, he's in a lot of stuff. I know that.
yeah, he's not just some piece of shit. Holes is what a
No,
lot of people know him
no,
for.
he is a very good.
I will give y'all one quick fun
I
fact
know
about
him from God, what is the
Well, Perk didn't hear you.
while he's looking. Fun fact about this movie. Uh, it is my karaoke song of choice. If there's ever a group of folks that I have to go to the stage with in a bar, it is the song. It is the song we're going to sing.
Drew, I want you to know this right now. We've been best friends for
I
quite
will
some time now. If I'm completely blackout hammered, go to this. I can still help you.
Okay,
I can still help you.
Drew. I will say we did do karaoke at my bachelor party, and you did not do this, and I'm disappointed.
Well, it wasn't the vibe per
Al-
se.
Also, he may not have been that tore up. This is one you go to when you don't remember words anymore.
Uh,
Oh no, he was tore up. He was
Oh,
bad.
okay.
He was
He
not
was
doing
tore
good.
up. All right.
it was a Zach Bryan kind of karaoke session,
Oh,
of which I could handle.
so
And
we were hitting our girlfriends and shit. Yeah.
I did. I
Cool.
did Chris Stapleton.
Oh, well, that's fitting.
Bert tore it up, dude. Like he got into it. It was great.
Damn, I wouldn't have fit in when I came up there with Air Force Ones by Nelly.
No.
Yeah, y'all wouldn't know what the fuck happened.
All right. Well, let's rate this thing. So, first thing I got for you is: would you recommend this movie to friends and family who have not watched it before? I'll be easy, real quick here. That's a 5 for me.
This is a 5. Again, this is I don't know if my dad ranks it number 1. He probably does, but this one's a father son moment for me at a young age, like 7 or 8 years old. This is a 1000% 5.
Okay. That's 3 5s on recommendations. The
Yeah.
likelihood of rewatching.
That's a 5. This movie to me will only get better as we go, because it's impossible to make something like this anymore. And I truly believe that. Just because of money, actors, everybody wanting their cut, I think it's impossible to make something like this anymore.
I'm gonna go 4 because it's been a couple years since I watched it. But I mean, obviously, I'll rewatch it. But it's not something I'm gonna just search every single year. But it is a great movie. And
But again, you gave it a 4, which is fair, because
Mhm.
if we're sitting over here and 2 people tell us they've never watched it, we're cutting it
I
out.
watched it. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Bert,
Mhm.
you got anything on that one?
Yeah, no. Believe it or not, I haven't said this yet, but this is a very recent full watch for me. I've seen up to like the halfway point, like when old buddy gets turned into a toad, a billion times. But for whatever reason, I always got pulled away from it. And I think 3 months ago was the first time I watched this movie from start to finish.
Holy shit!
Wow.
Oh, so this is like
Yeah.
this movie's a great movie to you then.
Yeah, I've only watched this movie all the way through 3 times.
Well, shit. I mean, you've watched it 3 times in 3 months. That's pretty good.
Oh, the first time I watched it, every time
Yeah,
I saw it on
I
TV.
All right, let's get into the next one. Is it a good cast, and did they fit their role properly?
Easy answer 5. I don't think you can do it any better. Like we can name 20 characters, right? Like, dude, we had John Goodman as a small time player in this movie. Like, think about that.
You got old buddy that was the coach from the Water Boy. As this, not the Water Boy. Blindside.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll go. It's tough, but I'm gonna go 4 for the simple fact. Hear me out here. It is an amazing cast, and they all do great. However, I don't think they properly use the cast enough. Again, back to the whole thing. It's just a little too short in a lot of scenes for me. I feel like we could have gotten more out of some of these actors. We just tried to get it over with a little bit quicker than we should have. So I'll go
Okay.
4. It's still good, but
Okay. To Drew's point, Babyface Nelson. We could have done a movie just on his character. Like I
Mhm.
just that's how good this
Yeah,
movie is.
I was going to give it a 4.5 for pretty much the same reason that Drew gave it a 4.
Yeah, that's fair. I have to give it a 5 though because to pack this much in into this amount of time with this many big time actors or roles as the actors play, they nailed it, man. They absolutely nailed it.
we have a new high score, ladies and
It
gentlemen.
should be. It should be.
And it's really not that close. We are at a 4.72 star rating for Oh Brother Where Art Thou. That's going to be very hard to top. It does make sense because it is one of the greatest
Yeah, it
movies.
will be.
Yeah, this should be our high score. It really should be.
The thing is, it's not my favorite movie, but the way we rate these, the 3 questions that we use to rate these, this show or this movie does an amazing job at fitting the
Absolutely.
criteria for those 3 questions.
Absolutely. And we got to be fair, keep an open mind, and really score it. Again, I love this movie, but when we break it down from a fundamental standpoint, as Coach Kent Murphy likes to say, this shit here is covering it.
Yeah. Just a great movie, all in all.
That's all you can really say. Those ratings that didn't watch it all the way through or pay attention or couldn't comprehend it, I hate it because they're not going to watch much better than this. They're really
Mhm.
not.
I agree. And for those of you out
Yeah.
there who are sitting watching and going, that is a great movie. I just think this movie's better. Well, comment. Tell us which movie you think is better because your comment could be the one that leads to us choosing that show or movie to do the review on next. Perk, do we have the name of this person? I know we had talked about it. Do we have the name of the guy who referred this movie?
While he's looking,
Angsty
will
Teen on TikTok is the person that recommended.
Angsty Teen. Yeah, he told us this. Angsty Teen.
Okay.
Which sounds a little rapey, but whatever. Thank you, Angsty Teen. You have great taste in movies. To piggyback off Drew, though, if you like something better, we may agree with you. None of us rated this our all-time favorite movie, and it still scored
on our honorable mentions.
Yeah, and it still scored this high. So, like, let us know that so we can get better at this, and not just get better. I like watching new shit that's really good I've never seen before.
Absolutely. Perk, you got anything?
Only other thing I wanted to say was this is George Clooney's best role.
No, it's not. But it's a great role.
No, this is George Clooney's best role.
Yes, it is.
This is his
Big
best
Oceans
role.
guy, dude. I'm a big Oceans guy.
No, this is George Clooney's best role. He's a phenomenal actor. Like he is a phenomenal actor. This is his best role.
It is it's two if nothing else. But I love Oceans so much that I can't.
Well, this gets back to like the Vin Diesel conversation for me. If he would have just done 3 Fast and the Furiouses, I would tell you they're his best role. When he did 11 of them, it left a bad taste in my mouth. So again, I'm not saying Oceans and Fast and the Furious are the same thing. I would actually rate Fast and the Furious higher than the Ocean series.
Fun fact,
This,
Oceans has a higher rating on IMDb.
who gives a fuck what they say? This is what Neil says, and this is George Clooney's best role.
I get it. But all right. That's gonna wrap it up. Perk, we
One other thing I did want to bring up.
Okay.
Just want to say thanks for watching so much on the Landman episode from this week. We're sitting at like 460 views on that episode, which is insane.
Yeah, absolutely. That's our best performance of video yet. We don't know what it was. We don't know if we said something. We don't know if it just decided YouTube was going to put out our podcast a little bit. But anyways, nevertheless, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. We enjoy doing this, but also we do it for y'all because we want you to learn from this and go, wow, they rated it really high. I've definitely got to watch that if I haven't watched it before. Or, man, they really didn't rate that good. I like that movie. Or they didn't rate that good. I'm probably not going to watch it if I've never seen it. Just
Yeah.
we want to help y'all as well.
We need that feedback, though. We like the banner. Whether it be negative or positive, it doesn't matter. We'll go back and forth with you all day. The only way we're successful if we do have the back and forth. Because we're 3 dudes and we all are kind of similar, grew up the same. Hell, me and Perk went to the same high school. Me and Drew been best friends for years. We need y'all's opinion to help us. Our reviews may always be shitty, but just tell us they're shitty. Whether you agree with us or not, it helps us do a better job.
Yeah. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and tell Grandma the pilot episode made another episode.
We're big into grandmothers over here too, obviously.
Yep. All right, Neil, what we got to tell them?
We'll see you.